What up, what up? It's Analog Processing Facility, formerly known as Dingo, and that is more relevant than normal because we're looking and talking about one of my very, very favorite games of all time. Normally I play along through the reviews, but I realize I end up just getting distracted half the time, so I figured I just queued up some of the hype trailers. But yeah, this is definitely, in my opinion, the greatest mech action game of all time. One of the best pure action games. And they recently remade it. I mean, now it was like 2018 when it released, I think. But full 4K, like amazing graphics now. It always looked insane, even on PS2. It was amazing looking. Then they remade it for PS3 and 360. Part 1 and 2. And the 360 port wasn't so hot, unfortunately. And it had some issues. But they completely fixed the PS3 one from the ground up. I don't know if the same work got done to the 360 because I didn't own that version, unfortunately. But that was just a simple HD upscale, which still looked phenomenal because that game is just simply stunning. It's one of the best, like, artistically, just most beautiful games ever made, in my opinion. And there are 2 installments, Zone of the Enders and Zone of the Enders: The Second Runner. And while I certainly recommend, playing both, it is one of the few series where I really think that you gotta play the second one, because while there are a lot of good themes and elements in the first one, I mean, there are a few games that I've ever played where the second one just utterly outdoes the original in every single way. I mean, the gameplay is more fast and responsive. There's more in badass and interesting weapons. They switched to main character Dingo Egret.
Good morning. Ready for combat?
But you still the main character of the original game is still present. And they made him like 50 times cooler too, so like it's the best of both worlds. You get a great new protagonist, and you get to see the original return in a much cooler fashion. It's totally Kojima, like crazy cinematics. And I mean, the plot it basically involves a war, between Mars, a force called Barum, and the Space Force, who are more like your general military peacekeeping force, whereas Barum uses more forbidden technology, and they have some real crazy high-tech shit and stuff. And you're a former Barum pilot, Dingo. And these are some of the different orbital frames you'll see throughout the game. Orbital frames are the highest form of, I call them mobile suits because I'm a Gundam guy, but, robotic. They're called, I don't think they're all orbital frames in this game, though. I think only the high-end advanced mechs are actually orbital frames. I could be wrong. But as you progress, obviously the story unfolds through cinematics and like in-game dialogue. They kind of have a similar just codec type setup to Metal Gear, and you just progressively get more powerful, and by the end of the game you feel amazingly badass and powerful. Yeah, there's the original pilot suit in the new game, the Vic Viper. He's actually pilots the Gradius ship. But, it can transform.
Please answer my question. You're going to Almar, aren't you?
So what if I am?
Do you know Ada intends to self-destruct Jackie on Almar?
Yeah, they actually stuck. You get. I mean, spoiler alert, but it literally happens in the first 5 minutes of the game. You get shot. I mean, she's just about to say it. And they hook your vitals up into the mech Jehuti, so you can't leave it for more than just like a mere moment, or else it will be fatal. And the main antagonist is a guy named Noman. He's the head of Barham Forces, and he has the rival mech, the Jehuti, Anubis. And what I like about the game is it's a pure arcade action style gameplay. It's like, I've been playing a ton of Armored Core 6 recently, and while I absolutely love that game, it still follows much more the modern third-person action trope control scheme, whereas this, yes, you can manipulate the right analog stick and it will adjust the camera somewhat, but that is not how you play, you know? Like, it is all about your lock-on, you're rapidly flipping lock-on to lock-on and boosting towards your enemies, closing distance rapidly, using homing lasers, using dashing sword attacks, using your sub-weapons, which range from like machine guns to homing missiles, which are fucking awesome. They're like pin funnels from charge counterattack in Gundam. And yeah, there's awesome anime cutscenes.
That power comes from Jehuti. You will die if you leave Jehuti.
You will die if you leave Jehuti. Yeah, she gave it away.
Performance of these two bodies is even.
Yeah, that's like the crazy scientist. Like they, you know, it's a Kojima trailer, so he throws everything at you.
A program to bring out the full performance.
It's so good though. Like, you know, I want to do like a gameplay demo and show, you know, more about the combat, but like, it's immaculately controlling. The lock-on is super responsive. It basically is all about dash boosting and maintaining lock-on to the important targets and taking them out. And then there's awesome boss fights thrown in as well. And then crazy Kojima cinematic awesomeness. And yeah, I mean, this isn't a history lesson. I didn't give you the backstory. Yeah, the original came with a Metal Gear Solid 2 demo that helped it sell a shitload of copies. I still bought it because of the game, but that's neither here nor there. It's a phenomenal series, and it's just badass. I just wanted to hear.
Auman chose me. The universe and human subconscious are willing their own end.
It's kind of not the greatest dub ever, but like, I'm so at home with it. I'm all about listening. I'm a total weeb. I listen to everything in Japanese, but they never gave us the opportunity, and it's a disappointing, but it's, I like how they do it like Metal Gear. There's die back there. Dingo!
One of the units for Project Auman.
But yeah. Yeah, there's the homing lasers. They populate the screen like that.
Battle over. Anubis wins.
Uh-oh. I guess there's one quick fast. No, this is long. Let's get to it a little bit, just so we can see a little more of the action. Yeah, it's hard to. You know, I don't feel like I'm doing a great job of even just espousing its greatness, but it's a beautiful, immaculately, tightly controlled arcade action masterpiece with the fun, over-the-top Kojima meets anime plot, and very lovely soundtrack. And now that there's this 4K remake out that costs at most $29.99 anywhere you'll find it, whether you want the PS4 or 5 version or the PC version. It just looks insanely good, and it was a legit remake, not just an up-res. Like, they refined the textures. Like, it looks good now, and like, that is how fuck Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't want to play a whole new shitty game. I want a good game that looks gorgeous, and that is exactly what they gave you here. Just like Virtual Fighter Final Showdown. But those games get shit on because they're preserving greatness. And this is yet another example. I don't give a fuck where Konami stands right now. This is a phenomenal product, and anybody would be an idiot to pass it up. It's absolutely a fucking amazing game. One of Kojima's best. Absolutely near the top of the game. Anyway, if that connected with you at all, feel free to. I've been, putting up a ton of Armor Core 6 shit lately, so feel free to check that out. Or I did some Mortal Kombat stuff, or I do video game, and every once in a blue moon, something else.
Norman. It's
Dingo. Phenomenal. Alright, I love you guys. Peace. Play this game, please. PS2, PS3, or PS4, or PC. They're all worth your time. They're all 60 FPS. They're all goddamn beautiful.